the world. Celine has put in there, I started yoga again and I am committed to practice throughout the year. Fantastic, Celine. That is amazing. About 7 weeks ago, I started with a personal trainer. So I've been doing gym 4 times a week for the last 7 weeks, and I am committed to keeping that going throughout this year as well. It's got some goals around my weight and trying to put on a bit more muscle. And it's good to have goals. Katrina, yep, you're also doing the yoga. Fantastic, amazing. Well, this week's session, and I'll read out any more as they come through. This week's session is on developing inner strength. Just me saying inner strength, it's likely that each of you will have a different interpretation or even maybe an image in your mind of what that represents. What does inner strength mean to you? I think we all have an idea in our mind of what us as our strongest self looks like as well. When we fantasize and we sit there and we imagine winning the argument, or we imagine building the business or going to the gym, what we're usually doing is we're actually fantasizing. What's the strongest version of me capable of? That's really what we're doing. And when we see that image, that is a version of us that we can adopt. I love the way that Bob Proctor used to say it. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. Now, some people say that's a bit crazy, but some of the most incredible inventions and accomplishments have seemed a little bit crazy to other people before they happen. So when we see a person who has stepped into their power, who is fighting for what is right, who's disciplined and they don't shy away from a meaningful challenge, we're seeing someone who's strong. They've developed it. They've got a connection to it. They're able to live out that strength in most moments in their life. I'm not saying anyone's perfect. We all have those days where our inner strength fails us. Even the strongest people can break down at times. But the point of today's session is we're either feeling connected to this version of ourselves or we're not. And we can feel it. We either feel like we're being the active leader of our life. That's how you know. I'm being the active leader of my life. I'm the one who's creating the changes. I'm the one who's in control here of most aspects of my life. Either that or we feel that other people and situations are in control. Our happiness and whether we get anywhere is determined by other people. That's the definitive way to be able to tell, am I tapped into this feeling of strength or not? Now, the way to develop your inner strength is simple. You go within to find that version of you. I believe that every one of us has different parts that are running around inside of us. We have an anxious part, we have a depressed part, we have a strong, we have a loving, we have a caring part, and at different times they'll take the wheel. They'll step up to the plate and take control. So for us to develop inner strength, we have to find that version of us within us. What do they look like? What are their thoughts? And we can do this by connecting to them by doing a meditation, writing exercises, journaling, visualizations, sitting there in stillness and asking ourselves, who is the strongest version of me? What do they look like? What do they want? What would they do? And you practice it. You practice connecting to them. When I wanted to heal my chronic fatigue syndrome, I had to go in and I had to find this strong version of myself. So I had a part that was the chronic fatigue version, which looked like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, sitting on the bed crying, just in so much pain. And one of the ways that I healed him when I overcome my chronic fatigue syndrome is I found this version of myself, the strong version. And he would come in and I would go with him and we would talk to this version of myself that was in pain. I got to know that strong version of myself, and slowly with his help, I healed that version of me that was in pain. You have a strong self within you that's just waiting to be connected with, to develop a relationship. And the more that you practice doing it, the stronger you will become. Some people just think, oh, I'll just become strong. Sometimes you can have an emotional impact that just makes you connect to it instantaneously in a moment. But most of the time, it's through constant repetition, my words today, going in there, talking to them. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do some exercises. Let's connect to that version of you. Every single one of you has that version, and we're going to connect to it today. So what I want you to do is just take a piece of paper, and a pen. You can open a document on your computer if you want, if that's easier. And at the top of the piece of paper or in your journal, just write Mindful Mondays, developing inner strength. And maybe you want to put the date in there. Sometimes I like to date these things just so I can remember, especially if it's something powerful. And trust me, I think today's session is going to be pretty powerful. So once you've got that, Mindful Mondays, developing inner strength, we're going to answer some questions. So just write the number one, and I want you to answer this question. When you think of inner strength, what people come to mind as an example? People that you maybe admire. Write down three names, and you can write it by saying, three people I think are strong are. Just write down whoever comes to mind. Maybe it's one of your parents. Maybe it's a celebrity that you look up to and admire. Doesn't have to be what other people would think someone who is strong would be. Who you think is strong. And if these questions cause you to think, fantastic, that means your mind's going in a different direction than what it normally would. Or unless I haven't explained it properly, and then that's my bad. So amazing. And now we're going to write down and answer the question for number two. What does being a strong person mean to you? And I want you to answer the question and phrase it however feels good to you. I want you to see strength as a good thing, not as a negative thing. So you can start this sentence by saying, being a strong person to me means, and just journal on whatever comes to you. Being a strong person to me means, just follow on. Maybe it means being disciplined. Maybe it means being loving. Maybe someone that other people can look up to and rely on. No wrong way to answer these questions. And if you need to, just take a deep breath at any point. Relax and feel your way into it. And once you feel that you've answered the question to the best of your ability, just put a thumbs up emoji. I think there's reactions on Zoom somewhere. You can put it in the chat or you can just click the emoji. I think it's in reactions or something. Thanks, Sylvia. Thanks, Celine. When one more person does it, we'll move on. Oh, thanks, Darlene. Number three. What? No. Why do you aspire to become stronger? Why do you aspire to become the strongest version of you? And you can answer it by saying, I aspire to be the strongest version of myself because. And whatever comes to you, just write it down. Maybe you want to be the strongest version of yourself for your family. Maybe you want to be the strongest version of yourself so that you can get out of a crappy situation you're in right now. Maybe you want to be the strongest version of yourself so that you can be happier, more at peace, whatever comes up for you. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just breathe and just feel your way through them. Thank you, Sylvia. And once you're done, just give us the thumbs up emoji so I know to move on. And if you do want to write more to these questions after we move on, just leave a bit of space. You can always come back to it. And because of the way you're starting the sentence, you should be able to just continue onwards. Thanks, Darlene. When we get one more, we'll move on to the next question. Thanks, Helene. Question number 4. What are 3 times in your life that you've shown great strength? Or maybe you felt really strong? I just want you to write down 3 times in my life I've felt strong are. Maybe it was when you were on a trip overseas. Maybe it was when you needed to leave bad relationship and at some point you found the strength to leave. Wasn't easy, but you did it. Maybe you quit a job that was safe and went after something that you really, really wanted to do. 3 times in your life that you felt strong. What are they? They don't have to be big and profound. We're just getting familiar with that version of ourselves and trying to see where has it shown up in your life before. And again, once you're done, just give us a thumbs up emoji. I like to answer these questions myself before the session. And a moment that came to me that I'd completely forgotten was when I went cold turkey on all of my prescription painkillers, sleeping tablets, antidepressants. Not something I recommend anyone ever do, by the way. There were some pretty strong tablets. It was kind of akin to going cold turkey on heroin. But I hadn't thought about that for a very long period of time. And for that week, I was in a lot of pain, very nauseous, horrible, sweats, all that kind of stuff. But looking back, I'm like, that version of me helped me get through that. It was a very difficult time. And there's times in your life that you can probably reflect on where, hang on, I normally wouldn't have been able to do that. I can tell that I've held back multiple times, but there's times in your life where that version of you has shown up when you needed it. It's good to find those moments and reflect on it. And number 5, why are you grateful that there is unlimited strength within you? And you can phrase this by saying, I'm grateful for the unlimited strength within me because, and just see what comes to you. I'm grateful for the unlimited strength within me because. Just see what happens. Most people complain about how they can't do anything, they're not strong and all that kind of stuff. And the opposite of complaining is gratitude. It's noticing it, it's finding it. Wallace D. Wattles said that the whole process of mental adjustment and atonement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. One of the best ways to let your inner strength out is to actually say that you're grateful to it. You're grateful that it exists. You're grateful that it's within you. Well done, everyone. Well done. And now we're going to move into the next part of the session where we're going to do some meditation and visualization. So what I want you to do is just shake your body out, just stretch out if you need to, get up and move around, get off your chair, stand up, move around if you need to, because we're going to be sitting still for about 12 to 15 minutes here. And if you're uncomfortable, it's not much fun. I know that because whenever I don't do this and I try and meditate, I spend the whole time fidgeting and moving around and I do not get much out of it. That's just me personally, but obviously, I've noticed this, whenever someone tells you what not to do, that's most likely because they've done it before. And that's how we learn. So what I want you to do now is just get yourself comfortable. I'm going to play some music through your speakers, and we're going to get into this meditation. Now, what I want you to do for this first part is I want you to keep your eyes open. We're going to do a breathing exercise. And the way that it starts is when we breathe in, we lift our hands up. When we breathe out, we bring them back down. And we're going to do this not super fast, but kind of fast. And on the last one, which is going to be the 10th inhale, I want you to hold it. As you breathe up, you breathe it all the way in, and I want you to do what's called a root lock hold, which means that in your pelvis, you tense up, kind of like you're holding it in if you needed to go to the toilet. So you'll feel that like your whole pelvis, your glutes will just tighten up, and you're going to hold that air inside of you for 10 seconds. And then as you release, you can let everything relax. We're going to do this twice, but just keep your eyes open for now so that you can follow me in my direction. Just get ready right now. I'm going to count you in and just follow my lead with my hands, and I'll say in and out, and I'll tell you when to hold. So we're going to do our first inhale and arms up. 3, 2, 1. In, out, 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 and all the way in, all the way in. Hold your hands up there, squeeze your buttocks, hold it in. Try and relax the rest of your body, but hold it tightly, all the air in for another 3, 2, 1. Release and let your hands come down. And as you do, you can now just close your eyes just for a moment. Just notice how you feel. Heart rate beating fast, slow. Is your breath deep, or is it maybe shallow? And this time, we're going to do the breathing exercise again, but I want you to keep your eyes closed. You can bring your hands up, ready to go up. And we're going to do our first inhale all the way in, big breaths. In 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Breathe in, breathe out, and breathe all the way in, all the way in. Extend your hands to the roof as you do the root lock hold. Holding your breath, letting every other part of your body relax, except for the pelvis area. Holding that breath for 3, 2, 1. Breathe out and let your hands come back down. Again, noticing how you're feeling. What emotions are you experiencing right now at this point? Now, we're going to do a little bit of a visualization. I want you to imagine in your mind that you're walking along a beautiful path beside a really big river. As you're walking along it, you can see the trees, hear the birds, you can smell the fresh smell of the forest. It's a lovely day. Temperature is just perfect. And as you look down to your left, you notice that the river is completely empty except for a really thin stream right in the middle. It's only a foot deep. And imagine that you walk down the bank. You walk down all the way over the dried mud, all the way down to the river. Put your feet into the river. Right now, you're barefoot. You've left your sandals or shoes up on the path. Put your feet in the river and it feels really nice. But you're curious, why is it only just a small river? You look upstream and you can see a massive dam stopping all the water from flowing. And something within you feels agitated. You want that water to be flowing. And you look at it with determination and strength within you. As you're looking at it and you're feeling the strength, you notice it start to crack a little bit. Part of the dam falls away. More water starts flowing downstream. Not a lot, but it's more than it was before. As it gets to you, the depth goes from around your ankles and shins to just covering your knees. It feels really good. Something within you knows that you brought about this change with your strength and determination. And you want to help this river flow. This time, you stamp your right foot, determination. You look upstream and you see the dam crack even more. And this time, more water flows down, even more than before. Water just looks so beautiful and peaceful as it flows into you, not even knocking into you, but just flowing all the way around you. Now it's up to your waist. You can just feel all this positive energy, the strength within the water, within this flow, this natural flow of energy. And looking up to your left, you can see on the path some of your friends are walking along and they're now looking down towards you. Some family members with them and they're smiling at you and they've got bathers on. Something inside of you just wants to give them a beautiful swimming experience. You look upstream with love and determination. You will that dam to break even more. With your strength and determination, you see it crack. Even more water flows down, all the way down. And as it breaks around your chest, all your friends and family cheer. And they come in, they jump in the water and they start swimming around you. And it feels so good. With your strength and determination to be giving them this great experience. Even though the water is flowing, it's not even knocking you downstream. All just playing around, enjoying this beautiful water. Looking upstream, you notice that there's still a little part of that dam that needs to break. And And you want that water to lift everyone off their feet so that you can all swim around and float in this beautiful energy, strength. With one final determined look upstream, you will that dam to break. It quivers and then it breaks and gives way. Now the stream is completely flowing. All the water is just flowing around you. It feels so warm. It feels so nice. It feels strong. It feels invigorating. Now just take a moment to enjoy swimming in this beautiful water with your friends and family as they all look at you with a big smile, knowing that your strength, determination has brought about this experience. See them being healed, see them being happy. Enjoy. And now I want you to imagine that you, your friends, your family, loved ones, are all swimming back to the shore. Or get up back up onto the path, dry yourselves off, and you look down at this beautiful river just flowing. It looks so strong, so purposeful, so life-giving. And you feel beautiful emotions within yourself, knowing that you enabled this to happen. You wave goodbye to your friends and family, and you continue walking along a beautiful path through the trees, hearing the birds, feeling the beautiful sun on your skin as it peeks through the trees from there and here. I want you to slowly just let this image go with a smile on your face as you come back to where you're sitting right now. Coming back into your body, but bringing this feeling of strength, maybe even love with you. I want you to now just take a few really deep breaths all the way in through your nose and all the way out through your mouth. Slowly becoming aware of the temperature of the room that you're in. And when you feel ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. You can start to move your body in any way that you wish. Slowly come back into your body, into the space. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. Amazing work, guys. Well done. I'd like to thank you all for coming along to this session, giving this a real good go, doing the meditation, answering the questions. It's not easy to do these kinds of exercises, but it's really beneficial. There's all these different parts within us and all these different. I remember someone saying that personal development in any kind is just the development of different personas into reality. We've got a calm version of us, a strong version of us. And when we actively choose the parts of us that we wish to call forward, we gain control over our lives in the way that we want to. So I hope that you found today's session inspiring, motivating, challenging even. Challenging is good. If it was a challenge, that's a good thing. If it was hard to connect to that strong version of you, then that's good. There's some work maybe to be done there. And if you want to reach out and have a chat to me about anything that came up in this session, please do. I'm always open to talking to new people and having a call or even just messaging on Meetup. Or you can add me on Facebook or Instagram, David Keith Turner. Now, I'm going to stop the recording, and the way that we